Hello everyone. Just wanted to talk a little bit today about the energy of the Sabbath of Yule as we start to approach it. It's the 19th today, and for myself on my own personal journey, I celebrate Yule on the winter solstice, which is the 21st here in New England. And so I thought I would talk a little bit about what the energy of Yule and the winter solstice means for me. And also, I did pull a few cards just to see this year for us, kind of universally, what that means for all of us. You know, what's happening energetically, and what are we really experiencing and exploring as a community as we step into the energy of the winter solstice and then the next phase on the turning of the wheel. So for me, very much, the time approaching the solstice is in the crone energy of death, and it tends to be more introspective, pulled within, turned within. I tend to do a lot of shadow work around that time and sit in sacred space in front of my altar as much as I possibly can to, you know, just commune with the energies that I work with. And typically that communing is very much about healing and a balm to the soul, as opposed to what do I need to know about, you know, what to do? How do I start growing what I want to grow? It's much more about like, where am I, and how can I heal, integrate the wounded parts of the self, and step into a healthier space as a human as well as a divine being of light on this journey too. So that time tends to be more introspective, and I also have found personally on my journey that like November and December tend to be pretty big months of shifts, like large things that have happened in my life where things have changed have tended to happen in November and December. So I also am tending to unpack a lot emotionally and look at what's mine, what's someone else's, and where I need to take accountability for myself and my actions, and where I can stop repeating cycles and patterns in relationships in my life. So it tends to be a very introspective time, and then as I step into the energy of Yule, I always feel this really beautiful energy of, yes, rebirth, but also just like, okay, now I'm like shrugging off this shroud, and I'm standing here naked, and who am I now? As I walk through the winter solstice, who am I now? And there tends to be a very sacred, very spiritual energy of light, understandably so, because that's what we're coming together to celebrate as families and communities, but also individually, it's the return of that light. We know that the days are going to start getting longer, and the sun is coming back to us, and there is a rebirth of the sun as well as ourselves that we step into. So for me, very much the energy of the stars, the star in tarot. Can you focus on that, please? So the energy of the star in tarot very much encapsulates the energy of Yule for me, because it's making a choice to have faith and trust and belief in the value of the darkness, but also the light that's coming in and the power of that, the strength of that light, and also how it plays with vulnerability as well. So it's about making that choice to trust in our higher selves, to trust in the journey, but also to trust in our human selves as well, and that whatever it is that we're going through or experiencing or exploring as lessons, those things are happening for a reason. And as long as we are showing up fully, we are expanding and learning, and we are coming into direct relationship with the light. So the star holds that energy of trust and faith, and choosing to be positive, to understand the big picture in the lessons, and to really be fully present. You know, you've just come out of that energy of the tower with the star, and you're really in an expansive energy of understanding why you were just in that space and who you are now, because you were kind of pulled down to the bones, and what happens when it's just bone. What's there? What's inside of the bone? What's at the core? So the star is something that I tend to meditate with a lot in the days preceding the winter solstice and Yule. Having asked my guides just energetically what it is specifically this year that we're learning, exploring as we move through the energy of the darkest night of the year, which steps into the return of the sun, S-U-N and S-O-N for some people. The cards that I drew were the Knight of Wands from the Line Strider Tarot, and then Snow White and her animal friends from the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. You inspire trust and confidence. To me, this is saying that the lesson, the experience that we're exploring in winter of 2018 is an energy of action. We're stepping into an energy of inspired, passionate action. We're not going to stay in that energy forever. The Knight of Wands is not a keeper, right? You know, he brings everything up to the surface. He follows the passion. He's active. He makes the change. And then peace out, bitches, right? Like, he heads off on his direction in a different path. He follows a different path. And so to me, it's a changeable energy of action, but it's not without a beautiful experience and a powerful purpose. So we might find that there's a lot of things that happen, change that happens over the next few weeks. And it might be expected, it might be unexpected, it might be in family communication as we gather together with our loved ones for the holidays. It could display itself at work. It could display itself in living arrangements. Across the board, there's a powerful change, but it serves a purpose. And we're able to trust it because Snow White and her animal friends allows us to see that it's happening for a reason, right? We come back to that energy of the star. It's happening so that we can come more into alignment with that light within us that cannot be extinguished as long as we believe in it. And we believe that we are intimately, intrinsically connected to that light, which is the divine. It's not just outside of us, it dwells within us as well. And we don't have to do anything to be worthy of that. We simply are that. And so Snow White is telling us we can trust that that energy of change that the Knight of Wands brings to us, that energy of passionate inspiration, of doing something, diving headlong into something, and it might not make sense to anyone else, and yet we just feel called to do it, or we see that happening around us by the, you know, with the people that maybe we live with or who we come into close contact with. We see this change happening. It's for a purpose, it's for a reason, and it serves a bigger picture. So letting go of a need to control and just trusting the experience and trusting in that light that exists within us and all others is going to help us to be fully open to the energy of the midwinter solstice, or the winter solstice, or Yule, whatever you'd like to call it, and allow a rebirth and a reforming to happen. One that allows us to be more authentic in our experience, truer to that light that lives within us. So expect the unexpected, but also allow yourself the freedom to enjoy the lesson in the unexpected and to allow it to move you into a new energy instead of trying to force it to keep you safe where you feel you're safe. In other words, to keep things the same, because sometimes they have to change in order for our soul to expand the way that it's ready to. So those are some thoughts on Yule for 2018, and I am really looking forward to getting to observe the Sabbath with my son this year and just be in that energy of gratitude and thankfulness for all the blessings in our life and in the human experience and the human journey as well. So I am wishing you and yours all the best. I am sending you much love and many blessings as always, and I will see you in the next video, guys.